Hello, and welcome to Mass Group's Traceability Made Easy, also known as TME, video on how to add a scheduled work order. First thing I'm going to do is log in with my user ID and password. This will take me to my dashboard screen. From here, I'm going to click on the work tracking module and scheduled work. Now, these scheduled work orders are what drive the triggering of PMs and calibration work orders. So we're going to go ahead and click on the new scheduled work button. I'm going to choose my process by clicking on the process lookup. You're going to choose general for the most part. If you need to choose other processes, have a conversation with your TME administrator. From here, I'm going to enter the default description. This will be the description of the work order itself. Choose a priority, medium, high, or low. Whether it's a PM calibration or others generally used for repair. I can select my assigned to, whether it's a user or a group of users. And these individuals will be the ones that will receive an email as soon as the work order has been triggered. I can choose a plan, category, and a subcategory. These are great ways to organize scheduled work and the resulting work orders for reporting purposes. The start time is useful if you're going to set up asset reservations, and then the hours is to be able to compare estimated hours to the actual hours spent on the work order itself. Then I add my asset. If I'm going to associate to an asset, I can do a search for the asset based on any of these fields, and then select with the green arrow, or I can scan the barcode and select, and I can type what I need for work to be done. When ready, I'm going to save my record. If there are user-defined fields to fill in, I can do that from here. But now I need to set my trigger. This is what drives when the work order gets generated. So I'm going to set it to active. I can set it to expire so that it will no longer trigger after a certain date. I can set it to a one-time event. Work order is due. This is an automatic calculation of the due date based on when the work order is generated. I'm going to leave it at 1. Holding of the next trigger until work is complete. What this does, it will not fire off work orders until the one that's lastly been generated has been closed. For my trigger itself, I need to set it up on a schedule, and I can also determine whether or not it can be triggered early before the scheduled trigger date. If I do that, let's click on 2. This means I won't be able to trigger it more than 2 days prior to the scheduled date. I'm going to turn it off for now. Hour to generate is important if you have the runtime engine running every hour. The runtime engine is the mechanism that triggers off the scheduled work. For my next trigger date, I'm going to set it for next Monday. I'm going to make it weekly on Mondays. I can also set it daily for every certain number of days, monthly, certain days of the month, or the first, second, third, fourth, last of any given specific day of the month. And then I can also choose which month I want that to run. If I want to have asset reservations generated, I can click on this and choose a reservation category or a reference type. These values are populated by your TME administrator. A second trigger is being able to trigger based on metrics, whether it's meter readings or asset metrics as calculated by that same runtime engine that generates your scheduled work orders. If I'm going to do a meter reading, I need to choose what meter I'm going to collect against, and then set what is the value to trigger after. So in this case, once I hit 5,000 or greater, I want to trigger this scheduled work. And then I can also set the reset interval, in this case, every 3,000. So once I hit 5,000, it'll then reset for another additional 3,000. Floating, we'll set it up so that if my reading was, let's say, 5,010, it will reset to 8,010 instead of just 8,000. I can also have a third trigger which sets it based off of another scheduled work. So what will happen is once this one triggers, then 388 will trigger. This allows you to set up a whole lot of scheduled work with one master, and you only have to change the next trigger date on the one master. I'll leave these off. I'm going to save my record. I can add documents that will then be available on the work order. Additionally, I can set up notifications to go out to individuals other than the person or groups assigned to the scheduled work. In this case, line 1 operators and the shift supervisor. I can also associate inventory bills of material, and then these bills of material will associate to the work order. The technician will then be able to see what inventory items and consumables are appropriate for consumption to this work order. Save and close, and now I have my record. It will trigger every week on Monday starting on March 28th into a work order. I'm going to go ahead and trigger now. Order 1731 has been generated, and my next trigger date has adjusted accordingly. And now I can come over here and I can see the work order that was generated. Thank you very much for your time. If you'd like to learn more about Mass Group, check out our website at massgroup.com or call us at 818-709-1255. Thank you and have a great day.